in Qingdao, the eastern Chinese city that is going to host the upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. And now I'm standing at the center of Qingdao Qianwan Container Terminal. The reason that today we're going to do it live stream here is because this container terminal is China's first as well as Asia's first container terminal that is fully automated. It's been put into service last May, and up until today it has received more than 700 cargo ships of the similar size of the one that's behind my back. So within a camera, let me show you how this fully automated container terminal works. It's operated. Look at the ship, the cargo ship. It's huge, and you can see a lot of containers piling up on the ships now. They're waiting to be carried off the ship by those huge blue giant cranes. And look at that yellow clouds. Now they're taking the container off the ship and putting it on a platform. And within the camera, let's spin a little bit. Can you see that little blue? I mean, of course they're huge, but from my point, they look a little bit smaller. Those lorries. All of them are controlled by computers, and the computer programs are coded and supervised by human beings, by people that sitting in the remote office, probably laying back in their chairs. But look at them. The whole activity is organized neatly. You can see the clouds, the red clouds, now is putting the container on the autopilot lorry. See the movement, see the action. It's very gentle, but very precise. All those machines, they have sensors attached to them, and they will receive signals transmitted via laser. And that laser, a class of laser contains information, contains order, giving them instruction, and letting them know where to go next. Now let's look at that lorry trucks with a huge blue red container unloaded, and now the lorry trucks then are moving. Look at those ones. Then moving all the way from the cranes, from the ships to the container yard. There is a huge container yard on my right hand, on the side of my right hand. Look at those moving. Also the big blue cranes. They're taking, also controlled by computers, they're taking the containers of the lorries and moving it slowly, well, not really slowly, from the channel into the yard, and accurately, precisely put that container where it is designed to put it. Now, let's give you a general view of the containers. So they are huge, they are vast. I cannot exhaust with one side, the end of it. So the entire system here is controlled by computer. So probably you have already noticed, on the ground, the existence of a human being has been minimized. It's very, very hard. Actually, human beings are scarce on the ground. Actually, I was told that moving around, a person moving around in this yard on the ground here is vigorously barred, because it might interfere with machines. Now that sounds a little bit funny, that a human being will interfere the work of machines, but that is actually how this place is operated. Look at that huge thing. Oh, we got one coming. So why bother with automating a port, with a container port? Because when we're talking about industrialized port, the container terminal, we always kind of imagine in our mind the picture someplace where it's fuzzy, it's busy, with human beings shouting at each other, trying to get their job done. But none of the things exist here. Everything is carried in a very organized way by machines, by the book, by the word of its design. So that is the beauty of this place. And the reason that they are doing this, they make this happen, is because it saves cost. It saves a huge cost, because it's not just the cost of hiring people, but also the frictional costs as well. And we will go into details on those issues later. Another reason is the safety issue, because there's no human. Normally there's no human, but for the maintenance, except for the maintenance period, there's no human downstairs. So no human, no damage. No collateral damage on human flash. So safety issues is another big reason to build such an automated place to take off containers option. And another reason is for efficiency. And we'll also be interviewing people who is going to tell us about how much they've enhanced the efficiency of working here by automating all the machines. So maybe it's not very easy for you to picture the place like this because it's so neatly designed. But within a camera, maybe I can ask the camera to span a little bit from this side. Now, within the camera, you can see this is the automated port, automated terminal. And on this side, behind my back, here is another traditional, conventional terminal. This place, every single machine has to be managed, has to be manned by a human being. So you can, maybe you can't sense that clearly, but from where I'm standing, I can hear clearly the noise coming from the back. But on this side, it's quiet. So today, with the CGTN, with me and my colleague Wissgott on the ground and another colleague in the control room, we were going to take you on a tour around this automated container terminal. We're not just going to show you how those machines work on the surface of it, but we're also going to take you to the behind door to see how those machines are supervised by human beings. We're going to be interviewing people who are going to tell us about the secret of this terminal. So now I'm going to hand this live stream to my colleague Wissgott on the ground. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask us, or you want to ask the partial questions onto the experts and the scientists and the engineers working here, do leave all your comments on the comment section of our digital platforms, including Facebook and YouTube and our application as well. And if you're domestic viewers, you can find us on a Weibo, and also we also have an existence on Twitter as well. So now I'm going to hand this to my colleague Sim downstairs. I'm going to, although now I'm standing against a cutting-edge environment, I'm going to contact my colleague in the most familiar way by shouting. Hi, Sim! Now handing it to you!
Well, Dean just gave you an overview from above, and now, as he was saying, we're going to take you a little bit closer here to the action. Not too close, obviously, because we can't actually venture onto the site. No human person is allowed on the site. As we were saying, this is a fully automated cargo terminal. So there's a lot of big machinery, a lot of things going on, and for safety reasons, no humans are allowed on there because, you know, anything in a big automated operation, you don't want any little glitch, and a human being is a glitch. As you can see here, massive machinery going on. You can see these massive cranes here that are unloading a ship at the moment. Very impressive, I have to say. They are taking these containers here, lifting them off the ship onto these automated driverless vehicles, actually, which it is a little bit unnerving when you see so many driving around without any driver, actually. Everything is controlled from a site, remote site, from a remote office. But yeah, it looks a little bit futuristic when you see all of these driverless vehicles, but it makes the whole operation a lot more efficient, a lot faster. So you can see here a container that is going to be lifted down onto one of these vehicles. The different vehicles taking then the containers over to the other massive cranes. Then the cranes lifting these to store them and stack the containers until they can be moved to another site, moved to another ship, to a train, to road shipping, any other type of shipping. So you can see this is, as we were saying, fully automated cargo terminal. And then if you want to see the contrast, pan around to that side, that is the traditional cargo terminal. So you can see it's quite different. You have a lot of lorries, but with human drivers. A lot more noise, beeping. Actually, well, now there's quite a lot of noise on this side, but so this is the traditional cargo terminal. A lot of noise, a lot of activity, and then when you pan back to this side, there is also quite a lot of noise, quite a lot of action now, but everything going very smooth. Everything has just been tailored. Everything has been measured. A millimeter can make everything go wrong. So everything is just working really like clockwork, and you can see here all these cars just driving along automatically. So yeah, so you can see this is a huge operation here, made very smooth, but just so you get an idea of this place, Qingdao is the world's seventh busiest port. And interestingly, actually, the world's busiest ports are all in Asia, and mostly in China, actually. You've got Shanghai, you've got Shenzhen, you've got Hong Kong, Singapore also. So when you think about the big European ports that we think are really huge, they actually don't even make these the top list of the world's busiest ports. They're all here in Asia. So that's, I think, quite interesting. And as we were saying, Qingdao has the world's first, Asia's first fully automated cargo terminal. And Qingdao Port links to about 175 maritime routes to 300 countries. So it is really a huge hub. And as you can see, if you look at the different containers, the shipping companies are from all over the place. Here you've got Hamburg Süd, so obviously based in Germany. You've got China Shipping, you've got Evergreen. So it just gives you a sense of really how international and how much Qingdao is linked to the world. And you might not have heard about this port actually when you're abroad, but it just gives you a sense of, you know, it's actually really a big operation. And just to give you a sense of how big that operation is, we've got a little film that we're going to show you now that gives you like a better overview of this whole place.
Hello, I'm standing inside operation control room of the Qingdao Port fully automatic container of terminal. It's like the eyes of our body. It monitors and controls the operation of the port and ensure everything goes smoothly. I'm also joined by Wang Chongshan, the Deputy Operation Manager. He will brief us how the control room works and how they ensure the safety of the operation. Hello, Mr. Wang. How are the staff members working here?
这里就是我们自动化码头生产控制中心，这里面有9名工作人员，他们就是取代了传统码头60多个人的工作。
Here is the operation control room. There are only 9 staff members. They replaces the 60 workers of the traditional port. They are mainly for the operation and monitoring, and they also controls the operation.
这个操作台就是桥雕远程操控台，他就是一名桥雕远程操控员。
And here is the operation desk. The guy in front of the desk is responsible for the operation of the port. Today,
桥雕远程操控员就是取代了传统码头的桥雕司机。
He replaces the driver of the cabin of the crane outside.
传统码头的桥雕司机是在50米的高空，随着驾驶室移动。
The driver in the cabin, they usually worked outside, and the working condition is really harsh for them.
他们要通过脚部底下的玻璃来观察他们的工作环境，不时的要经受着设备的震动和噪音。
The harsh condition they are going through is that they have to sit in the small cabin and monitor everything through the glasses on the ground.
我们的远程操控员现在只需要坐在这个操作台前，水平的观察作业环境。
And you can see the working environment for the operator significantly improved. They don't have to sit in the small cabin. They just sit in this cool and very comfortable room to work.
他们通过安装在桥雕上的20几个摄像头传输过来的画面，来观察他们的作业环境。
And there are 20 more cameras are fixed inside the port, and the pictures you see right now is from the cameras from the port, and they just monitoring the screens here to operate according to the situation there.
这也相当于传统码头桥雕司机的眼睛。
And this is like one of the eyes of the cabin driver for the traditional port.
我们自动化码头还有一只眼睛是藏在我们的系统里面。
And the other eye of the automatic port is just hide behind.
它就是我们传播扫描系统。
That is the data collection system.
它会把我们的作业环境用传播扫描的技术用数字化进入系统。
The system will collect the data they have from the operation.
我们远程操控员只需要看好指令，启动黄色按钮。
And the operator here, what they need to do is just to push the button here and to operate.
集装箱装卸工作就全部进行自动化了。
And the rest part of the operation is all done automatically by the machine. And I have another question, Mr. Wang. How long have they to be trained for this position?
他们培训只需要3个月的时间。
And they usually go through 3 months of training.
就能达到桥雕高超技术，桥雕自己的高超技术。
And then they can work for this position. How do they handle the emergencies? I can see the operation outside is going smoothly, but I think there may be emergencies outside, for example, the strong winds. So when there are such occasions, how do they handle the emergencies outside?
他们远程操控员通过画面来观察外部环境的风力或者涌浪或者船舶的移动，来及时采取措施来保证安全。
The operator here also monitor the temperature, the environment outside, and if they see any emergence, they will respond quickly, very quickly, to ensure the safe operation of the port. That's it from here. Let's go back to Sim and Ding on the ground.
Well, now Dean has joined me here down. Thanks for joining me. Thanks. Hi, Dean.
Running all the way from the balcony on back to the ground.
Made a little run down here. Thanks very much. And what do we have in store now?
And like this mentioned, because none of us actually is expert to know everything inside out about this container terminal, so that we're going to invite some expert to help us out, just like a colleague who speed did. But now, next I'm going to invite Yang Jiemin. He is Qingdao New Qianwan Container Terminal Corporation's Vice General Manager, and he also is a doctor and a researcher who helped design this splendid container terminal.
You can give us all the information about
Mr.
this.
Yang, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us.
你好，谢谢啊，谢谢。
So we'll have 我们可能会问您一些问题，然后我会帮您翻译。So I just told the Vice General Manager here that I was going to help you to translate all the questions and answers. So
Sure.
shoot.
Yeah. Well, what are the advantages of a fully automated cargo terminal?
为什么就是这样一个自动化港的优势是什么？
自动化码头相对于传统码头有很多鲜明的特征，最主要来讲就是它是一个最安全、绿色、智能和高效的这种码头。具体来讲，安全性来讲，就我们整个装卸生产全过程都实现了无人化，现场没有人，最大程度上实现了人机隔离，保证了人员的安全。绿色角度来讲，所有的设备全部采用电能，就是实现了二氧化碳的零排放。高效就是说它作业效率已经全面超越了传统集装箱码头的作业效率。智能化的话，就是说它整个生产作业全过程都是计算机系统智能化的对现场进行调度指挥，不是人在后台给现场发送作业指令来完成作业的。
So it's quite hard, but let me try to sum it up. So the first advantage, the first benefit is because you can see no human around. That way it will reduce any damage on human being, on human flesh. So the safety issue is guaranteed here. And the second is environment friendly, because the entire place is designed with green devices. It's powered by electricity, so they will manage to reduce the carbon emission to nearly zero. And the third one is the efficiency enhancement is great, because now they've reduced the human beings existing in the port, and all the frictional cost by human is also reduced with that. So the entire efficiency with the very neat design of machines is enhanced by around 70%.
Well, that's really interesting, because safety and efficiency, I think most people would expect, but environmentally friendly, we wouldn't think that this also contributes to that.
Actually,
right?
that is a surprise to me as well. Yeah.
Another thing, so he was saying that obviously efficiency has been improved. What is how does this compare to a traditional cargo terminal in terms of efficiency, in terms of staffing as well?
从这个工作效率来讲，这样一个自动化港口，相比于咱们对面的这个还需要人来控制的港口，它能够提升多大呢？
我们对面的话，这是我们传统的集装箱码头。我们青岛港自动化传统的集装箱码头作业效率也是世界最高的。但是我们设计的全自动化的无人码头，比传统的码头平均作业效率要高到30%以上。
So on average, the efficiency rate of an automated container terminal is about 30% higher than a conventional one. We can see the cross on the opposite of this side. Yeah. Because for this one, it also has a very, very high rate of efficiency, but still all the signals are given to the machines is by human beings. But at this stage, this phrase is eliminated on this side.
Oh, I see. And the staff has also been greatly reduced, right? There are I think 9 people only who work at the fully automated cargo terminal.
Yeah, Bruce B must have mentioned this. Yes.
Yeah. So compared to 60, I think, in a traditional one, that's a massive reduction. But I think we were talking to Mr. Young before. He was saying it's not some people might be worried about job loss.
Yes.
This did not really imply any job loss because this place was created from scratch, right?
关于就业的问题，因为如果要是我们设计的一个全自动化无人码头的话，会不会导致就业流失呢？
我们这个全自动化的码头是一个新建的码头。所以说，它从岗位的需求人数来讲是少了，但是这些人数在我们青岛港的在整个港口物流其他的行业会做新的一些调整。
So basically, it's the math. You reduce human labors on the port. It doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be any other jobs or positions created somewhere else. Because this entire port, like just mentioned, is built from scratch, which means it has a plan for less human labor, human hands here. But someone else, because the efficiency enhanced here, will help to create new jobs, new positions, and new needs and new service someone else.
Okay, very interesting. This port also, I'm guessing that also makes a difference. Robots or machinery don't need to sleep, right? So this operates? What are the operation hours in this place?
工人的话，我们干8个小时就得下班，就要吃饭，就要睡觉。那我们理解机器人还有其他的工业设备，他们的这个维护不会像人这么频繁，所以他们的工时是多长时间的？
所以我们这个叫无人码头，它是由很多特种装卸机器人组成的，它可以实现全天候的作业，也就是说，24小时不间断的工作，无论春夏秋冬，无论刮风下雨，它都可以一直在工作。
I don't know if we sound a little bit kind of robot crew because those robots, those machines are designed literally to be able to work 24 hours 7, 365 days.
Well, okay, then we don't want the day when they rebel because they won't be happy.
Well, that's definitely give them a reason to rebel.
Let's not talk about that. Let's keep going.
Okay.
All right, another thing. But maintenance also is quite important. How often is that done? Do you also need? Is it self-maintenance, or do you need workers for that?
如果要是设备维修和这个检护的话，是不是终究还是需要人来去操作？还是说一部分工作也可以自动化呢？
我们这种码头的设备，自动化设备设计的标准很高的，也就是说它的可靠性非常高。但是它也需要一定的维护和保养，特别是在船舶靠离的工作间隙，我们会根据设备运行的状况来进行安排设备的维保。
I think that is a good news for humans, for people, because after all, even machines that can work 24 hours 7 a week still need some maintenance, and most of this maintenance is done by human beings still. And because you don't have ships coming and going all the time, so there will be a time gap between one ship arrives and the previous one leaves. So during that gap, they will be able to send inspectors inside the yard, inside into the port to do the maintenance job.
Okay. Are there other ports like this in the world?
这个是全世界独一份儿呢，还是在这个世界上也有其他的类似的港口呢？
目前这种设计效率最高的高标准的全自动化码头，全球总共有5个，在荷兰鹿特丹有2个，美国长滩有1个，在中国有2个，一个是我们现在的青岛港，另一个是去年年底开业的上海港。
So today, on the highest level, according to the highest standards of the design, there are 5 in total. There are 5 automated container terminals like this one, and one is here in Qingdao, of course. The other one in China, also in China, is in Shanghai, which I think is has been in operation toward the end of last year.
Okay.
And then another 3 around the world. 2 are based in Rotterdam, Holland, and the other one is in Long Island in America.
Oh wow! Okay, so very few, and this is like one of the 5.
Yeah, it's really the state of art design here.
So how come there aren't more? Are there any big obstacles to building these types of terminals? Why aren't there more?
如果要是说这样的设计如此能够提升效率，能够减轻这个人员配置，能够提高这个运输效率，为什么我们现在只有5个，在全球范围内只有5个类似这样的港口呢？
因为这种高标准的自动化码头，它建设的时候，以前的时候有几个非常重要的几个难点，一个是它建设周期比较长。另外一个，它的投资成本比较大；第3是它的技术门槛比较高。这几个问题在之前欧洲建设的时候碰到这样的问题，我们相对来讲，对于一般的港口建设这种自动化码头难度很大的。但是这一点在中国很多的领域都有了长足的发展，所以我们在规划建设我们自己码头的时候，创新了很多的技术和方法，所以我们这个码头现在看非常短的周期达到了设计的效果。
So mainly it is because the cost of building such a port, such a terminal is still very high because the technology. Look at those designs. You need to. Because we can just see the whole arrangement of it on the surface of it, but we don't know details. It all comes down to every single device and its design. So the technological hurdle is still very high. You need to build these things entirely from the scratch, which means you have to harness the most cutting-edge technology on every single phase of designing it.
Right.
That means the designing time is very long, and that will automatically create more cost for the investors and for the builders. And I think that's mainly explains why we only have 5. But it's 5 of ports like this. But it's definitely going to be the trend. In the future, they're definitely building more.
Yeah. And I believe he was saying that the cost of this type of terminal is about 1.2 times as much as for a traditional terminal, I believe. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, I think that is the outcome we found out after research. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, but still a very impressive, I have to say, I'm just amazed by these automated vehicles that, you know, without drivers, they're just sort of going back and forth, and it does sort of feel like I've gone into a science fiction movie, right?
I thought with that it would have come up.
Yeah, but I mean, on the plus side, I'd say that maybe humans are just as unhappy about this as robots, because robots have to work long hours, but humans don't actually get to go on site, so everybody's basically unhappy about that. Well, except for the different companies.
So you think that the happiness from both sides are just cancelled off?
Yeah, exactly. So really, the machines can't be too angry, because, you know, the humans also don't get such a good deal.
Well, I'm happy that now machines can work for us in this way, but still everything can be under the control of human beings still.
Yes, yeah. So let's hope that it keeps going as well as it does now. Should we take a little walk?
Yeah. So do you have any more questions for the mannequin?
I'm quite good, but do you have anything else?
So I think we've already made a few footages, and also we've done some coverage on this port. So if you find a more detailed coverage on this, maybe you can go on to CGTN's application and all other digital platforms. We have more detailed coverage of all those important points in it that you're welcome to read them and leave your questions, and we will continue to. Now this is a state-of-the-art port. We don't want to leave it cold. We will be revisiting it time and time again. But thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
谢谢你啊，谢谢你。
So maybe we can, let me put this on myself. I mean, I'm quite. Actually, there's one tiny detail. I mean, at the beginning of the slime stream, I was asking around about all this beautiful designs, all this machines, all this automation. But I got one information, one knowledge that I never heard before. Forgive me my ignorance on this area. But my ignorance, maybe let's walk a little bit. Let's just look at those containers.
Yeah.
They are actually what makes this entire place kind of exist.
Yeah.
The containers. They are the fundamental, the essential design that we need to make everything, to make every bit of automation to take place. Because in order to automate things, you need a standard to stick by. You need something to kind of a design that can make everything happen, that can make everything happen anywhere. Not just in China, but in the US, in Rotterdam, in any other country, and that is the ultimate equal. Can I call it an equalizer? Probably not, but that is the standard. They've been invented after the Second World War. The container is the standard setter. Because of the container, now you can use it anywhere in the world. In China, the similar container. In the US, also the similar container. That's why now we can automate things. So I think that gives me a very interesting thought. I mean, in order to automate things on this side of the country, and also applying the same kind of logic and the same kind of rules and regulations on the other side of the world, you need something to bridge the gap. And the container is that bridge. And from that, I think, in order to make globalization, automation, this kind of a big idea happen, you need something kind of the same standard everywhere. I mean, that is, I don't know where that thought will lead me to.
But that's interesting. I had never thought of that. For me, it's just containers. It's big boxes that you see on trains, that we've seen our whole lives, on trains, on trucks, on ships, and it just looks like a big box. But it's true. If you didn't have, back in the day when they had barrels, or when they had different types of units to carry things, you can't use that automation system.
You can't automate things here when every single shred of goods is contained with the barrels, with the plastic bags. So only containers make it happen. So I guess that's why we need talks.
So that's container is the key to globalization.
Yes. The container is the common ground for automation worldwide, as a talks, as negotiations, as discussions, as a common ground for globalization everywhere. I think that is the takeaway I will get from today's
Well, it definitely gives me, makes me see containers in a whole new way, because usually they look like rusty old steel boxes.
Now they're shiny.
Now I see them as a shiny example of globalization, as a facilitator of trade globally, or something like that.
Because before, I think an industrialized zone is still full of chimneys and full of noisy people running around, but now today what is happening now is definitely blowing my mind.
Yeah, and I have to say this place has blown my mind, because I'm sorry, I have to keep going back to these driverless vehicles, and seriously, one day they're going to take over the world.
Well, as long as human beings are still behind it. So I guess we will wrap up our live stream today here with all those beautiful machines behind us. They're still busy with their work. I guess we can take a break from it, and then
they're still leaving us alone and being nice to us. So.
But no worries, we will be moving on from this port, from this busy zone of automation, to another busy zone of globalization. We will continue our coverage about Qingdao and about SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Because of today, the information we get, the knowledge we get today, I think we will build them, we will incorporate them into our future coverage about globalization, about the huge the framework that China helped to build up and to help the entire world with.
I think that's a good note to end on. So thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the rest of our coverage this week here in Qingdao, and later on other places that we will go to.
Just to give you a little tiny tips about what is going to happen tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll be visiting some very interesting places, and you may find not just the high technology, but also something on the ground from the grassroots, and that is also interesting for you to find out this place if you really fancy some place to enjoy your vacation. But I will stop there. Just to leave
nice little teaser. Yes. Just come back and see what we're actually talking about.
Thank you for being us. Thank you for being with the CGTN. I'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.